Hi and welcome to MyCTOfriend, the place where startup founders learn how to solve technical challenges with unbiased CTO advice. I am Amaury and today I'm going to answer a question from Jean-Charles, who is working on a web platform project. His question is, what risks are there for my startup when working with a freelancer? Before answering this question, let's add a bit of context. Jean-Charles has already developed a first version of his product with a freelancer. Now he is moving forward and has raised funds to finance the next version of his project. Here is his concern. The freelancer he has been working with recently landed another big contract and says that he can still work evenings and a bit of weekends to move forward. However, Jean-Charles still has some doubts about how to deal with growth if the freelancer becomes unavailable. So let's be clear. Topped only by having a developer as an associate, freelancing is one of the best ways to build a startup. But, there is an important but. Freelancers has the word free in it, which means that developers are pretty much free to come and go as they please. So when you create a contract with a freelancer, you kind of go without a backup plan. And in order to answer Jean-Charles' question, let's break down what the advantages and the risks are when working with a freelancer. Of course, freelancing has lots of advantages, like no recurring costs, can be fast if the developer is senior, and that's not that expensive. While there are lots of pros of working with freelancers, there are also lots of risks. The first one is the quality. Will all depend on the freelancer, so you have to check their background carefully ahead of time and ensure that they have the right and relevant experience for your project. And most of the time, you will also have to run quality check yourself, which means noticing bugs, sharing them with the developer, and check whenever they are solved. And now the second risk is the freelancer availability. In fact, I know lots of freelancers that just travel the world, getting new contracts only when they need to finance their next trip. This also means that you need to keep track of the source code and what he is doing on a regular basis, because you never know. And one of the main risks of working with freelancers is the need of management. Most of them aren't good project managers. Some aren't project managers at all. So you will need to keep an eye on managing process a bit, at least at the beginning, to ensure they stick to the plan. And another risk of working with freelancer is considering not only the specific version you are working on right now, but the long term. Each freelancer has his or her own accumulated knowledge, his or her own way of doing things. And you need to be aware that changing from one developer to another will require a few days or even a few weeks to adapt to a specific code. So there is a cost attached to it. And to conclude, the goal of a freelancer is to earn a living. So if your project has a certain development needs, the freelancer will most likely propose solutions, despite it not being his main area of expertise. So by working with a freelance developer, for example, having just complementary skills like web design might not be enough. Based on what you are building, he or she might also need an expert in virtual reality, artificial intelligence, or IoT. And it is not a good idea to let the freelancer handle everything. No one can be expert at everything. Even if he can't get the job done, he won't be the most effective way for sure. So in conclusion, the risks while working with freelancers are: first, you need to check the quality of their work. Then, unfortunately, they are not always available. You need to manage them. There is a pretty high risk of turnover. And you also need to manage complementary skills and to be sure that your freelancer are not going to handle everything, but just the area where he is the most expert in. Basically, freelancer cannot provide the 360 overview of the project like a good web agency would do. But still, freelancers are a great and economic way to get started. It's actually my favorite one, because it gives you the freedom to use resources whenever the project needs it. So if, like Jean-Charles, you have specific questions for your project, just go ahead on myctofriend.co/ask. I will do my best to answer your question by video or by redirecting you to existing content that will answer it. And also be sure to go through on our other courses on MyCTOfriend.co to learn more from real startup growth experience. Waiting for your question. I look forward to seeing you in other videos. Cheers.